Hello. I know it's been a while. Let's see, where are we? We're on Sunday on Labor Day weekend. We got power back 2 days ago, I believe at 8:30 in the morning. Basically, we were out power from Saturday night of last week, the 29th. Well, the 28th, actually. The 28th, I believe, until Friday of this last week. So 6 days, basically. We have refugees here from New Orleans that are family, elderly, 2 people. One, she just doesn't need to be by herself. There's no electricity in their homes down in that area. So, and the other has definite roof damage. He managed to get it tarped. They both went through the hurricane together down there. They did not get to us until last Tuesday. Now, we ended up in what you would call a bug-in situation because, we're not getting out. We were staying here. So we had preparation prior to it getting here. Some of you have seen my outdoor tub. It serves multiple purposes. I also have a big wash bin that I put below the drain of the tub, so I'm collecting water in both. I filled up my one tub. We ended up, sewage issues. Now we got a porta potty from the area where they're putting up a new neighborhood right next to us. So we went and took the porta potty and put it in between 2 neighbors' houses, a house down. So that enabled us to go outside to go to the bathroom. And just not out in the woods or not in a bucket somewhere. I had already dug a hole in case I had to do that. The old 5-gallon bucket with the Lysol in the bottom of it and some water, but I have 2 elderly people, so the porta potty was nice, really nice. We had water to flush regular, but if you're going number 2, you have to go in the porta potty. Otherwise, we were going to have our sewage backing up into our homes. We had a generator, and my wonderful generator, our wonderful generator, would run for 10 to 12 hours on 5 gallons of gas, and I had 20 gallons already to start. So now finding gas, is an issue. You had to go outside the area to get it, but at least we had some to start. Now, all of you who think electricity is just, the way to go and fantastic, I'm here to tell you that unless you're living next to a river and you have built a paddle wheel and have all the equipment to generate electricity somehow, that's not going to be very helpful. Solar power can be wiped out in a hurricane. Your panels are gone. Okay, that can happen. Especially if they're attached to the roof and they're not movable and that sort of thing. Maybe if you have yard solar panels, you can take them down temporarily, or you have some sort of protection. I don't know, but it's just not really realistic. and wind. You better have a heck of a windmill to take those kind of speeds and stay operable. So I'm just here to tell you it's petroleum that kept us comfortable. Now, this particular hurricane, I had a 12,000 BTU AC window unit, which I highly suggest learning this time. I had a 6,000. I let somebody use it. We got a old 12,000 that we had, cleaned it up, and thank God I had the bigger one. And I ran a fan to push that air throughout the living room, kitchen area, and that's kind of where we were. And we had another fan to push air even further. So, depending on your square footage, I suggest 12,000 BTU to run off the generator. And then we would switch things out, keep the refrigerator going, the freezer going, that sort of thing. Plenty of food, especially when the refugees showed up. We even had more food because they knew to get everything out of their freezer and refrigerator and not leave it down there, because if you've ever cleaned out spoiled food, you know what I'm talking about, and I've done it more than once. So we have plenty of food. But we have electricity now. But things around us, a lot of people around us still do not have electricity. Relatives south of us, a lot of damage. They are living with relatives and friends in other areas right now until the electricity can come back on and they can assess the situation. Now, if you don't have too much damage to your house and you have a generator that's hooked up to your house, one of those Generac type generators, you're at an advantage. But you also need to maintain those things too. They have to be stopped, oiled, maintenanced, all that kind of thing. You can't just keep them running all the time. So, in day after day, week after week. People in the New Orleans area, and please don't forget about Lafourche Parish, down that area, and Terrebonne Parish. They got hit hard. New Orleans got scathed compared to them. Grand Isle is just a mess. Port Fourchon is a mess. Homa, that's where I started teaching. It's a disaster. When everybody thinks Louisiana, they think of New Orleans, but it's really those people in the outside areas, the fishermen, the trappers, the oyster shrimpers. Those are the people that make New Orleans happen. Those are the people that come in and work in New Orleans and provide for New Orleans and become musicians and whatever in New Orleans. They don't all grow up in New Orleans. So just keep those people in mind. It's kind of like, New York City got flooded, but they don't mention all the towns around New York City that got really hit harder even. It's kind of like that same idea. But, you learn when you go through these situations. Every time you learn a little bit more. One thing I can say that I did better this time is I had an air conditioner. I went through Gustav with no air conditioning for, I know it was over a week, maybe a week and a half at most. And that was miserable. with no air circulation, cool air, fan at over 100 degrees, heat index is just not cutting it. Now this time the heat index has been bad, but I don't know. It's just miserable for people. Miserable. Another thing that I did better is I do have a Berkey water filtration system. And the great thing about that thing is I can take the water out of this bathtub outside and filter it in this tin bin, because I had water that had just rained down on us from Hurricane Ida. So I had plenty of water to filter, and I had bought some water, but since we're still on a boil advisory, so I can take water from the tap now because our water is running properly, with pressure and with the electricity back up, and I can take that water and pour it into the Berkey, and that's what we're using to cook with, and that's what we're using to drink, and it's still serving a huge purpose. So I highly suggest one of the water filtration systems that are portable, movable, that you can take with you other places. It has been extremely useful, and I cannot say that enough, because eventually people could run out of water if things got too bad, and that's something I would have and be able to provide for people if things got that bad. Now, so we're well practiced in the bug in situation. One thing I would have to really think about is the bug out situation. And I have thought about it, but I'm much more experienced at bugging in. So, I used to do a lot of hiking, and when I was younger, and, for a week, and 10 miles, or 20 miles, whatever. We used to do some things, so I know about what I need in a group situation, and how much you can carry given you're in shape. And I have some experience with that, but I need to get that together just in case. But I don't know. That would be in extreme circumstances, because I'd rather hold where I'm at. I really would. Excuse me. Anyway, I just wanted to let all of you know that we are okay. We've made it to this point, one day at a time. And if any of you all out there are going through things, my prayers are with you. And things are changing, people, and we have to hang on, and we have to, stand firm in our beliefs and hold tight to our faith, and be smart. Be as smart as we possibly can, and think about things. Think about things very carefully. And much love to you all, and I will talk to you again. Bye for now.